Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 3. In the upper left-hand corner, we have TTTPPP playing as Britain. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have Goremented, colorful moniker, playing as France. Let's go to the production tab. TTT out with his barracks first. Total of 3 oil derricks on this map. One of which is considered to be a natural derrick. It's fairly close to the barracks if you place it right. And it appears that Goremented is going left for his natural oil derrick. And we'll see how this works out for him. Both players coming out with a engineer right off the bat, and TTT coming out with 2 engineers. Very interesting. No rifleman to follow it up, TTT. He's building a pillbox. Not always totally necessary when you're playing against the allies, and both players have decided to go War Factory first. Goremented is going to take that derrick, but I don't know what TTT was planning here. He's going to run straight into a bunch of riflemen, and there goes his engineer. $500 down the tube at 1 minute and 21 seconds. Let's take a look at the eco. TTT down $500 from Goremented. Neither player seems to be microing the harvester, judging by the pattern of ore. Sometimes you can tell. "11 actions per minute for Goremented and 16.8 for TTT. TTT sending his engineer off to the right-hand side of the map. And both players have Rangers queued up. We might see some Ranger on Ranger action. Goremented coming out with a fake power plant. And do we have a taxi cab? Yes, taxi cab engineer. Rangers out for both players, and both players are focusing on eco now, coming out with refineries and harvesters. Goremented, the only player with significant troop presence. And by that I mean a 5-stack of riflemen. TTT is broke as a joke at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And TTT tries to get the snipe on that engineer, but Goremented is able to make the capture before he does. So far, the only people to be killed are engineers. And a snipe on a rocket trooper, that was nice. TTT comes out with his service depot, and as does Goremented, both players following the exact same build order. This is very interesting. We'll see who makes it work. 46 actions per minute Goremented to 28.9 for TTT. TTT is coming out with a sizable infantry force. Not a lot of rockets in there, and I don't think they're going to do a good job of holding off that Ranger. TTT damages quite a few of the riflemen. Doesn't manage to take any of them out, though. And there's some more rocket troopers from TTT. Both players out with their first expansion MCV. Goremented foregoing tanks for the moment, and decides to come out with a mine layer. Goremented taking an aggressive expansion point, and TTT about to eco his expansion point. There's an eco drop, and honestly not the best placement of the refinery. I would have liked to have seen that refinery a few cells closer. sizable infantry force from both players. Goremented has got the line of sight. Slight advantage here, but advancing into a static position with tanks out of position is never a good idea. Both players nearly even in army value, and 55 actions per minute from Goremented to 31.1. Both players on 6 harvesters, with Goremented on 2 oil derricks. Goremented scouting out the enemy base. Makes a clean getaway with that ranger. Triple T committing to this battle. Nope, okay, falling back. That's a smart move to do. Triple T evens the score by destroying one of Goremented's oil derricks. Both players on 6 harvesters, 1 oil derrick, and an eco slide from both players. All of the action being consolidated to one section of the map. Neither player really going for a flank right now. Goremented about to come out with a second service depot. Very interesting. Maybe he wants to put it up here and keep his troops, or his tanks rather, repaired. He does. That's a very forward service depot. That's interesting. Neither player with a significant lead in army value. Goremented loses his mine layer on the return trip, and Triple T is making a break for the main base. Goremented doesn't have much of an answer for this. Goremented's main forces are out of position for this attack, but Triple T has left his expansion open. Triple T leading with tanks far away in the lead, and that is a move command. That is a straight up move command. Tries to get away with the MCV. I don't think he's going to be able to get away. Oh, Triple T not giving pursuit with the tanks, allowing the MCV to escape, and goes after the first. Wow, okay. I'm starting to see the genius in Goremented's plan. That was not his only derrick, or his only service depot. And Triple T is going to completely lose his forces here if he doesn't pull back. He's totally surrounded at complete line of sight disadvantage, and it appears to him that Triple T is just really coming out of the woodwork. And Goremented manages to escape with a small contingent of his forces and re-engages. Trying to kill a harvester. Goremented down to 6 harvesters, and the harvester escapes on a sliver of health. Goremented is so lucky this game. His MCV escaped on a sliver. He saved that harvester on a sliver. Wow, okay, Goremented with bases all over the map. And Triple T trying to escape here. He's going to lose quite a few soldiers. Triple T trying to make something work, distracting that main army force, but Goremented is ready for him. Pops pillbox and moves his forces quickly before they can do too much damage. 20,000 army value from Goremented to 12,100 from Triple T. If Goremented can maintain a good position here, he is definitely going to take this battle. Lots and lots of rockets in that mix. Able to deal effectively with the army. And pulls his army back, saving his tanks and repairing them at that forward service depot. It's actually a really good idea. 6 harvesters for Goremented, 7 for Triple T. 55 actions per minute for Goremented and 25 for Triple T. Goremented with double the army value. That is a mine layer. That would have been sweet if that was a rocket drop. But he's going to mine that expansion point. That's also a good idea. Triple T just doesn't have the army value to hold this advance off. I mean, Goremented could really push in at any time. And I think he's just waiting for the right moment. Here we go. Goremented with a very nice crescent formation, able to maneuver around those tank carcasses and doing a serious amount of damage to the forces of Triple T, down to 3,000 army value, Triple T. And, well, this looks like the beginning of the end, folks. Triple T deploying pillboxes, trying to stem the flood, but there are just so many rocket troopers in this. Goremented moving on to Triple T's main base. Triple T without an answer for this. And Triple T about to lose his only service depot. There it is. Triple T's MCV escapes, and so does his backup MCV, but again with bad placement of the... Oh, good game from Triple T at 12-13. 526 to 351. Let's go to the eco graph, but before we do that, I just want to point something out. If we can remember where Triple T placed his economic expansions. So he's got one here. It's pretty far away from the ore mines. He had one here. This ore mine was completely depleted, but he didn't utilize this ore mine at all. And funny enough, Goremented mined it. Still would have been a good idea to use it. I believe Goremented ended up losing a harvester down here to these mines. I don't see all 5 of them here, so some of them definitely detonated. But, yeah, so let's take a look at the eco, right? So, Goremented takes off in the lead because he's got the 3 refineries, and then he just concentrates on ecoing up, which is super important. You've got to keep scaling, right? You can't just say, okay, 8,000 income is enough, because if your enemy has 10,000 income or 12,000 income, they're going to just mow over you, like we saw. Let's go on to the army graph, and a bad trade right here. Okay, so 7 minutes. That was the battle down here at the main base. Goremented really doing a 200 IQ move, putting down this service depot. So this second service depot allowed him to continue producing tanks, even though he lost his service depot at his main base. Triple T kind of lulled into a false sense of security, thinking that he had gotten Goremented's only service depot. Just decided to overcommit. It could have been a hit and run, and he also could have killed this construction yard, which in hindsight didn't do much, but it's always good to wipe a construction yard if you're able to. So first game going to Goremented. On to game number 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 3. In the upper left-hand corner, we have Triple P, this time playing as Ukraine. And in the lower right-hand corner, we have Goremented, playing as France. And also now admitting who he is. Let's go to the production tab. Triple T, 2 seconds ahead in deployment of his barracks. And a total of 2 oil derricks on this map, and not a whole lot else in tiered straight. I really like this map, and I'm just itching for somebody to utilize this water in the middle. I know everybody pretty much unanimously hates naval. Everybody who plays RAGL. I tried bringing that up one time. I won't make that mistake again. So, Goremented, a little sleepy on production of his riflemen, but both players go into their own section of the map. This is a very dynamic map. There's a lot of room for expansion. There's a lot of room for trades. And also, there's a lot of room to make mistakes. If you were to pull back too early and go for that eco, it's never a good idea. Goremented going War Factory first, and TTTPPP going for the classic double ref. Each player is going to get to their respective oil derricks first, and TTT is going to be the first one to make a capture. TTT, pretty far ahead in income. Must be microing. I think he is microing his harvesters. Very good. .4 actions per minute for Goremented and 15.6 for TTT. Rifleman Scout doesn't find the engineer. And we've got a ranger out from Goremented. Let's see if he plays taxi cab. Doesn't look like it. And he's going to just go ahead and scout out the enemy base. Goremented with a good sight on the enemy base, learning the lay of the land, and sees that TTT has gone double ref. So he knows he's all alone out there when it comes to vehicles. Each player on one oil derrick, and TTT with a sizable advantage in income. Let's see if he can. Goremented cash stalled. I don't know if that's from just not microing the harvesters or building all those fake units. And it looks like somebody finally kicked all the spectators, thank God. Nope. Not a whole lot going on. TTT comes out with a flak truck and also flame troopers. Very interesting to work flame troopers into the mix at the early game in this Soviet versus Allies battle. A big advantage in army value from TTT. We'll see what he does with that. He's got a large troop contingent with a flak truck in the lead moving out towards Goremented's main base. Neither player yet to come out with an expansion. Goremented about to come out with his first expansion MCV. And TTT engaging Goremented idle on his MCV for a few seconds there. 14 seconds till we see TTT's MCV, but I think he's running low on cash. Yep. And not keeping that flak truck out front. I don't know how I feel about that. First expansion out from Goremented, and it's an offensive expansion with a barracks. He's got a pillbox in his pocket. TTT has a flame tower ready to go. And TTT comes out with his first expansion MCV. That's going to be an economic expansion for him. That tank getting chased off by the rocket troopers. It looks like TTT is going to hold this position and deny that ore patch. That's very good. TTT with still a lead in income and a harvester advantage. Goremented now strapped for cash, being denied that ore patch. And TTT has got him in a good position here. Reinforcing that position and about to come out with a Tesla coil. That's a big move. Tesla coil on an ore patch, that is no joke. A bad rally point from Triple T. Loses about 4 soldiers there to the pillbox. Goremented with an eco slide, and that was a pop and drop from Triple T. I missed that. Also eco sliding. Wow, Triple T is not messing around this game, denying that ore patch. And Goremented finds a flank. Smartly not engaging. Ooh, there goes a harvester down from Goremented. Triple T smartly not engaging into this malarkey here. Finds a flank on the MCV. It's got nowhere to run, folks, except into Goremented's base. The MCV being trapped by its own soldiers and going down. Triple T loses build radius. And a brief low power situation for him. Triple T pushing into the enemy base. I strongly disagree with this. He's got a good position here. All he needs to do is hold it. And trading well with the flamethrowers despite the line of sight disadvantage. He's out for blood, wants to get that MCV, but I don't understand why. Wow, the tank finding amazing crushes, absolutely decimates the army, and Triple T has lost his entire fighting force. Goremented with a strong position now. Effective flank, if there ever was one. Goremented destroys that pesky Tesla coil. Triple T still has line of sight with these power plants. But Goremented is going to fix that very briefly. That was a good move from Triple T, but just being a little bit too aggressive there. Triple T with an idle harvester. Comes out with a replacement MCV. No, that was his main MCV. Moves his main MCV to try to take this position. Again. But, well, I guess he does have the cash for it. We'll see what he does. Queues up another Tesla coil, rinse and repeat. But there is a Special Forces contingent from Goremented about to do some eco harassment on the left-hand side of the map. You know, those power plants are so useful for line of sight. Let's take a look at what Triple T sees. That's all from the power plant, going down that way. Flame towers are good too, but watch how he just kind of leapfrogs the power plants. There's that Tesla coil. Very forward position with the Tesla coil. The Tesla has such good range, but not a lot of armor. And it's going to fall to rocket troopers. Falls to the pillbox. And while Triple T is fighting over that position, the flank has been made. Loses a harvester, bringing them even in harvesters, but not for long. There goes another one. There goes another 2. Goremented down to 4 harvesters, but ahead in income. 66.9 actions per minute from Goremented, 22 from Triple T, 16,000 army value from Goremented, and 11,000 for Triple T. And Goremented is going to reinforce his position, pulls his small contingent, and going to do some more eco harassment there. Honestly, Triple T making the same mistake he made last game and not utilizing all the ore patches that he could. So that's reflected in his income. He is absolutely broke as a joke right now. I like his army composition, incorporating the rocket troopers. But Goremented has got the advantage here, and he's just advancing and trying to hold his attention to this side of the map while he reinforces his position on the upper right-hand side. Here comes the move. Brings Goremented down to 5 harvesters each player. Even on 5 harvesters now. Goremented's got a big problem here. Small force to answer, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Doesn't save the war factory. Triple T's got another war factory, but wow. Goremented trading very well. Leading with those tanks, finding crushes and pressing through the enemy base. Triple T on the rampage in Goremented's base. But it's all a ruse. Goremented going in for the kill on this MCV. That's Triple T's final MCV. And losing his service depot at the same time. Triple T is effectively dead in the water now, unable to build structures, unable to replace his MCV. In a tit-for-tat situation, but I don't think that's going to be enough to change the game at this point. We got 67 actions per minute from Goremented. Goremented smartly pulling back, saving the rest of his troops, and absolutely wiping Triple T's main base. 15,000 army value to 3,800. Good game from Triple T at 11 minutes and 54 seconds. 653 to 473. Let's go to the eco graph. Triple T gets ahead. He went double ref. And he was utilizing both ore patches, which was very good. And I think he was even microing his harvester, which was very, very good. Evens out for a bit. He could have honestly just kept pressing his advantage, but decides to go in for an early offensive, which turned out well for him for a while. He was denying this ore patch from Goremented. That's where this is. Okay, so he denied Goremented some income for a while. But Goremented found a flank, came around, destroyed Triple T's MCV. I guess Triple T decided, well, two can play this game, old chap. Comes in, destroys some stuff, and tries to get Goremented's MCV, but is unsuccessful in doing so. Also loses his entire army at that point. Alright, so that's where this trade happens. As you can see, Triple T was ahead until 6.5 minutes. I really thought that he had this. I mean, that Tesla coil placement was great. Denied this ore patch. And then when he pressed in, line of sight disadvantage and all these close buildings getting pressed into conga lines, easy to deal with, just right into the meat grinder. Goremented was able to rally, able to hold this expansion. And yeah, that's another point that I want to make. So Triple T never made utilization of this ore patch. That's a quadruple ore patch. That's a big one. Goremented over here, you can see from the eco graph, utilizes this ore over here extensively, and finds a flank on his Triple T's main base without Triple T being the wiser, and just absolutely wipes him out from that point. All Goremented did was basically hold the line here for a while, until he was able to take Triple T's main base. So that's both games going to Goremented. Red Alert Global League Season 9 Minions Round 3.
Battle control terminated.